Welcome to the show, guys. We are talking NFL playoff picture. Excited to dive into this episode here right now and also talk a little bit about Super Bowl prediction. Want to get your feedback. Want to make this ultra interactive here. I'm going to pull up the screen here with the playoff picture. We got Wildcard weekend coming up. And to anyone who's searching, NFL playoff picture, you can look at this. We're going to have a brief overview. Now, there's intricate details about every single matchup, statistical facts. I don't want to dive into that. I just want to show you the NFL playoff picture and my prediction on some possible outcomes on who the Super Bowl winner is, okay? So I also, again, like I said, want to make this interactive. Smash that thumbs up. Really helps the channel. Let's get the message across. Let's hear other people's opinions. The more people that like this video, comment, the more it gets out, the more we can hear other people's opinions on who they think is going to win the Super Bowl. Now, I just did a brand new show, Joe Camo Show, where I had an expert on Is the Fix Is In? And I feel that, storylines play a factor in regards to who's going to make the Super Bowl. And there's some amazing storylines already in the way that the script has kind of laid out this playoff picture, right? We're going to talk about that right now. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. Thumbs up, smash that lion mentality thumbs up, and drop a comment below. Who's going to win the Super Bowl this year? What do you guys think of the playoff picture? So without further ado, guys, let's get into it. So here's the playoff picture. I pulled this image off some random website here. Either way, it gives me all the details I need for this upcoming wild card weekend here. So as you can see here, guys, okay, we got Houston, which, by the way, I love Houston. The fact that Houston made it is absolutely phenomenal. That's why I'm wearing this Texans hat. I got it because I like C.J. Stroud. So amazing on C.J. Stroud, man. This guy is amazing. He's come in and taken a team that sucks, which I think they don't really have any receivers. You could make a comment that Nico Collins is amazing, but he's really not. He's not a true wide receiver one. Tank Dell's been hurt. Robert Woods banged up. Whole team's banged up, and the guy pulls out wins. Absolutely amazing. So we got a good matchup here between Houston and Cleveland. I believe the winner is going to play Baltimore because they're the lowest seed here. So Baltimore gets the lowest seed because they were number one. So Houston and Cleveland. Now, I'm going to pull up the odds here as well in some of these matches here because I want to see who the favorite is. I believe right now, again, Cleveland is the favorite. I think the odds play a factor here, in regards to who's going to win because I think it'd be a better matchup with Cleveland and Baltimore. I could be wrong here, but Flacco versus old team. Do you see how the narrative is, it's primed to go that way, but also any story here would be good because CJ Stroud, man, having, the year that he's had going young versus old. So I think there's a good storyline brewing here with this matchup here when you have Cleveland and Baltimore. So that's going to be something that's very interesting to watch. I'm rooting for Houston. I like the underdog. I like, again, they're a 2.5-point underdog. Browns are a favorite here. I believe Houston is going to be at home. So at the end of the day, man, I'm rooting for the dog still. I like Houston. I like CJ Stroud. It's going to be interesting how that's going to unfold there. KC and Miami, again, more storyline. You could say that the NFL's fixing the script is in. But what are the odds here? Tyreek Hill playing his old team. It's very viable, but still makes for a great storyline. More people are going to tune in. So we got KC, who's going to actually be the favorite here. They're a 3.5-point favorite in this matchup here. They're going to be at home, and it's going to be a good one, man. And the winner of that will play, I believe, the winner of Baltimore and Pittsburgh here now. Okay, so in regards to this one, right, we're looking at the AFC. Baltimore and Pittsburgh, I believe Buffalo and Pittsburgh, it should be a banger as well. Buffalo should win this one. So I'm picturing a Buffalo versus KC kind of rematch happening here. And then you've got Baltimore versus, I believe it's going to be Cleveland, Joe Flacco's last hurrah, but I'm rooting for Houston, right? I'm all in. I'm going Houston here. But it's really interesting how this is all going to unfold here. And maybe a possible Baltimore-KC final. Let me know your thoughts here. I'm really curious to see what you guys think, how this is going to play out. But on paper right now, the way that Miami played last game, they got to step it up. KC hasn't been amazing this year. Travis Kelce declined this year. The way that it sits right now, I'm tempted to say Baltimore versus KC here in the final on this side. And, with the NFC side, we're going to get to that in a second, but let me know what you guys think on this side here. But again, very early to tell. I would love to see Houston go all the way to the final. A little bit of a long shot there, but it'd be very interesting to see. Now, the other side here, let's talk a little bit of the NFC here. And then we'll go over some spreads here as well. By the way, Buffalo is favored 10 points against Pittsburgh here, just to let you guys know. KC, like I said, is favored 3.5 here versus Miami. They're going to be at home. And like I said, Cleveland is actually the favorite 2.5. So this side here, we got Tampa versus the Bucks. Tampa's going to be at home here. Tampa versus the Eagles. Eagles, they had a good run early on. They've been kind of falling lately. They're just not doing good as of late. We saw Jalen Hurts' finger all warped up and stuff. It's going to be an entertaining game. The Eagles are favored by 3 points, understandably so. I still think they're the better team offensively and defensively. I think they could potentially win this. San Fran's sitting, ready to wait for the winner there. Again, San Fran's kind of been up and down. They've had some good games. They've had some bad games. Still trying to figure out their identity. There hasn't been a team this year that's like, wow, absolutely dominative. Everyone's got question marks. KC, Miami, we saw some question marks the way they played Buffalo last game. They played good, but Buffalo just played a little bit harder. Dallas has been consistent, so there's a lot of question marks here. But, you got Tampa Bay versus, Eagles. You got Detroit versus the Rams. Again, another interesting game here. Stafford versus his old team. So again, is this part of the narrative? Is this part of the script? Is the NFL fixed? Again, I did a whole video on this, guys. Check it up below on my Joe Camo show. So very interesting here, guys. Detroit and LA. I think Detroit's the better team. We're going to have to see how that goes. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I love the offense. Sam Laporta hyperextended his knee. We're going to have to take a look at that injury. I don't know if he's good to go. That's something to monitor there. And then you got Dallas versus Green Bay. Again, McCarthy, who was actually fired in 2018, has now taken Dallas to where they are right now. So this is going to be very interesting, guys. Dallas and Green Bay. So we got a lot of narratives, a lot of old players and coaches playing old teams, a lot of revenge games. So is, Tyreek Hill going to come in and, beat KC, right? That's something to watch. Is, McCarthy going to come and beat his old team? That's going to be very good. Stafford here, with Detroit, Goff versus, his old team. It's just man, Goff versus, again, Goff revenge game, Tyreek revenge game. We got McCarthy revenge game. We got so much going on here that it's going to be so interesting to watch to see how this all plays out. But again, when I'm looking at this, man, when I look at the finals here, let's talk about the Super Bowl, prediction. The way that it looks now, it is not necessarily the favorite team that's going to make it to the final. There's a ton of dogs that come in. It's playoff time. It's a whole new, ball game, really. Anyone can come out and emerge here. It's anybody's ball game, any given Sunday. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. It's going to be entertaining because I do like the talent on all these teams. There's so much, McCaffrey's great on San Fran. They're doing some amazing things. I love what Detroit has done with that offense, and that, I love the way Jahmyr Gibbs plays. I would hate to see Montgomery. I'd like to see more Gibbs, more explosive. Dallas, CeeDee Lamb is what? CeeDee Lamb, what did he do? He broke the single best receiving season in Cowboys history. CeeDee Lamb having this historical season here. There's so much good going on here. It's going to be entertaining. There's no doubt about it. Super Bowl prediction. Let's talk about it. I'm going to go, dude, I'm not sleeping on Detroit, man. I think they're a great team. I think Detroit can make a run here. A Detroit versus KC seems very viable. Detroit versus Miami. But again, if you're looking at the fix, I believe the best story prevails. I mean, a rematch between the Kelsey brothers is very viable here. KC versus Philly. Is that the narrative they've been spinning with the whole Taylor Swift thing all season? Is that what we're building up to? Something to definitely watch. We'll see how the refs are acting towards those guys and seeing if any of those games are favored. But I think more eyes are going to be watching closely, guys, this year to see, is the fix in? How are these guys doing? Are they fixing a Kelsey Bowl? What's going to be happening? So again, very interesting. Drop your prediction below. Again, I want to give everybody a look at the playoff picture. That's what I want to do with this video. Anyone, searching it on YouTube, NFL playoff picture, Wildcard weekend, they want answers. There, it's laid out for you guys. I laid it out. Again, no affiliation with the site here. Just wanted to, find a random picture that had a good breakdown of the brackets. This site did it the best. So, Again, guys, let me know in the comments your Super Bowl prediction. With me, it's tough, man. I got to see how it plays out. The Kelsey Bowl seems viable. Again, I really like the dark horse that is Detroit. I think they're a good team. I'm rooting for them. I mean, again, they go for the big markets. Buffalo, maybe it's a Buffalo year this year. It'd be interesting to see them. I wouldn't mind seeing Buffalo in the final. So they haven't been in the final for, man, years. I mean, I remember they had that run back in the early 90s, and they were known for, boy, I love losing Super Bowls. Get it? Bills. They lost like 3 or 4 Super Bowls in a row. If you guys got to look that up. Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. Bills. Bills. So they're due. Buffalo's due. So let me know in the comments below. Super Bowl prediction. What do you guys think? Is there going to be a script in here? What's the best storyline? And it's all going to unfold. There's already storylines brewing. Like I said, the McCarthy thing and all that. But let me know in the comments below. Super Bowl prediction. Who you got? How's it going to play out? Love to get your feedback here. And subscribe. We go year round. We're going to be breaking news here. We're going to be talking fantasy. We go year round. Subscribe.